Welcome, everybody, to the 22nd episode of the Take Aim Gamescast. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm your host, Scott Mills, the Microsoft/PC expert, 22. And I'm joined on my left by Brett Wolf, the PlayStation expert.
No one's ever really gone. Oh. That's from the Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's like, fucking, I was watching Red Letter Media.
Yes.
And they like a whole video of it. It's so fucking funny. It's like, no one's ever really gone.
Yeah, so me and you are on the same page. We're wearing our Take Aim Game shirts today.
Yes, we are.
Awesome. And then we've got Eric on the right, the Nintendo / a little bit of everything expert.
Yeah, How you guys doing?
We have a little bit of a slow week in the news, so we're not going to have Eric do the news segment this week. We're going to do me again. So if you guys don't like me, too bad.
Ooh.
Okay. So we're going to start off. It's the beginning of a new month. We're into the month of May now. So PlayStation Plus games have been revealed for May. We've got subscribers are getting Overcooked and What Remains of Edith Finch.
Now, Scott, I know you were hyping up Overcooked way back when we first started doing the.
I actually don't know much about Overcooked.
Well, I think it might have been Sean who was telling you to talk about it.
Oh, Sean. Okay.
So you got anything you wanted to say about it or not?
I really haven't looked at Overcooked very much.
I played it.
I didn't.
Yeah, I played it.
Okay. So what do you have to say about it?
It's actually it's pretty fun. I mean, it's a game that you can't do anything like online. It's like it's not like an online game, but it's a great local co-op game. And I know when I was over at Emmy's house, her sister and her sister's boyfriend, Emmy and myself all played, and we were kind of like on a team or whatever. So It's a lot of fun. It's, if you have a significant other who's not really into gaming, that's definitely a game that you should definitely try out with them because it is really simple. It's fun. You have to work, together to get the dishes completed, and there's a lot of funny back and forth that you can possibly have. So
you need to work on that in real life.
You get Sean
playing on a game, doing the dishes.
I wonder if Sean played Overcooked with Heather.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a game I want whenever. I haven't bought it, but I played it on Xbox a few years ago, and when it does come out, I'll download it, and I will probably play a little bit of it and reminisce. But it's definitely a fun game that you should play with, somebody that might not be really into video games.
And then What Remains of Edith Finch, I know that's like a story-driven game. I don't think that's
it's about 2 to 3 hours, I would say. And it's kind of like a walking simulator, what you have seen from, like Gone Home. It's kind of like in the same type of genre, where you're just trying to figure out, clues and see what happened. And the game got really good reviews, so I'm excited to dip into it and play it. Like I said, it's not a long game, so you probably beat it in a night.
So you think it's worth the dip?
But my Worth the Dip series, it's going to be focused on games that came out in the past year of when I recorded. So Edith Finch came out in October of 2017, if I'm not mistaken, so it won't make the cut. But anything within the year I recording is fair game to be in an episode. This weekend, I will be recording my second episode of Worth the Dip series, and the game will be Tetris Effect. So I should be streaming that in VR. So I'm not sure how that's going to look in terms of like on the YouTube channel and how the video's going to look.
Yeah,
but if you like Tetris, check it out.
Yeah.
Sunday, I'll be recording every Sunday, and it should be up by the end of the day.
Check that out. Your first Worth the Dip seemed to be pretty successful. You got like 26 views.
Damn, that's successful.
I know. Shout out to
first week.
Shout out to my friend Colin, who designed the logos for us at Take Aim Games, and he was sending me some prototypes for a logo for my Worth the Dip series.
Nice.
So, and the carrots in the dip are in the refrigerator. They're not expired yet.
Yeah. All right.
So that should get another round out of them.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully you can get more than 3 dips out of Tetris Effect.
Wait and find out.
Wait and find out.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the PlayStation Plus games in May. Xbox Games with Gold, the May 2019 free games. Marooners for Xbox One. Don't know anything about that game.
Marooners, man.
The Golf Club 2019 featuring PGA Tour.
Thank you for
Okay.
correcting me.
Thank
It
you.
sounded weird whenever you spit that out.
Yeah. And I have not played that game. I haven't played a golf game in a long time either, so I can't say much about that either. My Microsoft/PC expert skills are not coming through for these games. You've got Earth Defense Force, Insect Armageddon. That was the Xbox 360, Xbox One backward compatibility game.
I almost want to say that's one of those
So
games where
that's
you're
one
like on
I've
a
heard
track
of.
maybe.
Yeah,
and
that one.
You guys sit up first. I'm not sure though.
Earth Defense Force I've heard of, but yeah, I don't
So it seems kind of like a tower defense game.
It might be. I'm not positive. But
know. Okay. And then we've got Comic Jumper, another Xbox 360 backward compatible game. And I don't know anything about that one
Right
either.
there because it's like a lot of noise.
Yes.
Rock-
And
really
we've
gonna-
got our special Rocky
Throw on the couch or
appearance
something.
as usual.
making noise as usual.
One day we'll get mics. One day.
Someday.
That's right.
Support us on YouTube and give us
and
some
then
money,
maybe we'll
Americans.
get some
And
mics.
international folks.
Okay, so that's it for the Xbox games with gold. Xbox Game Pass, they seem like they're always adding new games, so that's pretty cool.
And they're taking away games.
This segment always gets me more
Well-
hyped than the actual free game.
Why though?
Because there's always a lot better
Yeah,
quality here.
But do you play those games when they come to Game Pass?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm playing Monster Hunter World. Pretty
You played
soon.
on PlayStation, right?
Yeah. Played,
Yeah, I was very
Wolfenstein
intrigued by
already,
Monster Hunter World.
which is I'll let Scott mention that.
Uh-huh.
That's what I've been most
So,
Because all I ever see you is playing Overwatch.
so yeah,
believe it or not, on Xbox, so you don't know.
No, but I see you.
Uh,
Oh, I live like
I do when you're not.
I live like 5 feet away from you.
and with that, the Xbox Game Pass May 2019 editions, Wolfenstein 2.
Ooh, great
Which-
game. Very good game. I beat that game on
What was that
PlayStation
game?
already. But
Okay.
I might play through it again. Who knows?
You've got The Surge.
That's a Dark Souls-esque game, but it's with
Okay.
like robots and mechs, and it was free on PlayStation Plus last month. So
And then Black Desert,
There was one
which
other
is
one.
an MMO RPG.
What else you got? Wargroove.
Wargroove.
I want to check out Wargroove.
don't want to miss out on Wargroove.
No, Wargroove looks good. It's like it looks like it's pretty much the same thing as like anybody who's played Advance Wars, which is a very fun game that Nintendo made. Everyone's been waiting on them to remake that game, so I'm gonna check that out. I think it's just like a AA title or whatever though. It's not
Okay,
AAA.
so yeah, Wolfenstein 2 and Wargroove are coming to Game Pass on May 2nd.
They're already there.
Because May 2nd already happened.
Today is May 4th.
Okay,
May 4th.
but on May
May the
9th,
force be with you.
we've got
Nice.
Surviving Mars, Fulbright sci-fi narrative adventure game Tacoma, and Pearl Abyss fantasy.
No,
Online.
that's
That one's Black
newsworthy.
Desert. Okay. Well,
We just need
And
the
then-
first like 3.
so then May
Awkward
10th,
silence.
May 10th is For the King, and May 16th is The Surge.
I already looked through it. Trust me, Scott.
Okay. So those are your Xbox Game Pass May games coming.
You know, I'm gonna start doing
I
a
don't know what
PlayStation Now
games they're
segment, I think,
leaving.
which has more subscribers than Game Pass, but I digress.
Really?
It
Even
does.
though we just talked about how Xbox, like Microsoft's subscriptions and software sales are like going way up.
Yeah, but so you gotta think about consoles and stuff.
And-
So PlayStation Now.
We talked about how the hardware for PlayStation's better, but
Well, I
the
think we
software
can all
for
agree
Xbox
that-
No, I'm just saying PlayStation Now has more
Well, I
subscribers
think we
than
can all
Xbox.
agree that
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass has better.
Okay, what's your source?
Let me find it right now,
Okay.
Scott. Don't worry about it.
All right, but on to the next subject.
Okay, on to the
Let me
next
look that up.
subject. We've got 4 games that are being added to the Strong's World Video Game Hall of Fame. And this Video Game Hall of Fame museum is in Rochester, New York. The 4 games that are being added,
New York
this
gets all the Hall of
year-
Fames.
I don't know,
Bullshit.
right? Well, we've got the rock and roll, so that's
Well, we also got the football.
and the football.
So this is from.
Those are
I
pretty
just want to
good.
go back on that source thing. The research firm Super Data has reported that online game subscription services generated $273 million in revenue the last quarter between July and September 2018. Breaking down the various services, they show that PlayStation Now is beating all the other services combined, grabbing 52% of their revenue.
Okay, so
There you go.
there you go.
There we go.
It's been
So
around a lot
that just
longer,
kind
so-
of debunks everything we talked about with Microsoft sales last week.
Trust me.
No, it says they're focusing
It's not
on...
gonna last. It's not gonna last much longer.
No.
PlayStation Now has been around a lot longer than Game Pass, so.
Yeah.
And Game Pass just keeps growing every week. I don't know why Brett keeps saying that they're losing games. They haven't lost any games. I don't know why he keeps saying
They take away games.
They haven't taken anything.
Yeah, they do it every
maybe
month.
you come up
Maybe
with-
No,
you
they
can
do take
find
away- maybe
the
six
main-
games.
I didn't
No,
look up
They
the
take
main-
away games every month.
What's the best game they've taken away?
I'm just saying, they take away games.
Yeah,
They add games, they take away
Yeah, they
games.
probably take away like fucking little indie games. They're
No,
not taking
they
like,
take away
big
big games too. Yeah, they do.
What games?
Let me find out.
Okay,
Find
yeah.
our source.
More source on what games
Let
have
me
been
know the
taken
best
away
game
from
they
you.
took away. I want to hear
Okay.
this one.
But anyway, the 4 games that got inducted into the Video Game Hall of Fame were Mortal Kombat, Super Mario Kart, Colossal Cave Adventure, and 1990s Microsoft Solitaire.
No, I mean,
Yes.
obviously that was like
So
a staple. Like everyone had that on their computer. Everybody played it back in the day. So
yeah,
It
so
makes sense.
yeah, Microsoft Solitaire came out on Windows 3.0 was the version of Windows that came out, and that was very cool because now you've got a cool
Everybody
card
played it on
game
their computer back in the day.
that
Like, I remember I used
everybody
to play
loved
it.
Solitaire. Yes.
So,
Alright, so Resident Evil 0 is removed, Fallout 4 was removed, Bayonetta was removed, Injustice Gods Among Us, Metal Gear Solid 5, Mega Man 10. I can keep on going.
not much.
I'm just saying, Overcooked got removed, Resident Evil 6 got removed. you
Also,
know, Mad
Overcooked
Max,
was
all the
on
Bioshocks got
Xbox,
removed.
Resident Evil
Bioshock,
6.
Borderlands got, huh?
Oh man, all that.
But-
Kind
Yeah. So the point was is that I was correcting you about they do remove games off of the Game Pass.
Yeah.
They add games, but they
Yeah.
also remove games.
Well, it's like with the games with gold, you have free games that you could get if you're playing that month.
Well, those
We need to
games,
start getting a list
Yeah,
of those
I mean,
taken away. I
those
didn't know
games
they
look
were taking that
amazing.
much
The
away.
4 games that were giving away for games with gold, they sound like a lot of fun.
What games?
All those 4 Xbox
Yeah, but
games,
then
they sound like a lot of fun.
Game Pass were games. If you have Game Pass, you could have played like Overcooked on there. You could have played all those games.
Yeah, but
and
it's
they
not
give
free, though.
they give advance notice that
Well, yeah.
no, it's not free if you're doing the games with gold or PlayStation Plus either. You're subscribing to those services.
It doesn't work, I think, 'cause you're not subscribing specifically for that.
Okay, well,
What were
Anyways, so when they start the Hall of Fame, did you ever look that up? Because I remember them.
I
Like,
didn't find
I think it
when
was only a
it
couple of years ago.
started.
Keep going, Scott.
But yeah, so we talked about Solitaire, Colossal Cave
Super
Adventure.
Mario Kart, did you say?
Yeah, Super Mario Kart.
That one definitely deserves
I
to
mean,
be in there.
yeah, and Mortal Kombat 2. That
Yeah.
was a staple of
Opening,
fighting games.
Opened June 4th, 2015.
Yeah, I think it was recently. This is like Donkey Kong, I think was one of the first inductees. And
I mean, I can read the nominees of each class, but
Yeah.
and you guys don't
I don't
care.
go through that much.
Okay.
But yeah, it seems like they want to focus on older games for that Hall of Fame as of right now. Like
Yeah,
they all seem like they're at least 20 years old, pretty much. So.
yeah, because we're talking when they say Mortal Kombat, the original. I don't think it's like
They need to
the
get
whole
God of
series
War in there now.
combined.
No,
And
it's-
same
I
with
think it's
Mario
time.
Kart.
It's a 92 Mortal Kombat. It's just that one game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, they need to get God of War in there. It's time.
Because one of the finalists was Super Smash Bros. Melee, and that was like
That was
specifically
GameCube.
just Melee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the series of Super Smash Bros.
Okay.
I'm surprised Half-Life didn't get in.
Oh, Melee got in already?
No, they didn't get picked.
Uh,
Yeah, they didn't get picked.
Okay, and then Colossal Cave Adventure was a game and came out in 1972. It was one of the first text-based games. So you're just writing in, and there's just a story that comes up that you read through.
Yeah, it seems like several nominees, but
So yeah, I mean, in terms of history, video games.
That's what they
they're
seem to wanna go for,
important.
historically,
Yeah,
for
important
that.
in the history of video games.
what other Hall of Fames do they have in New York? Baseball, hockey.
Yeah,
Hockey?
baseball,
No, hockey thing is in Toronto.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's in
I
Toronto.
think
yeah.
we passed
Something else.
basketball.
Oh,
I think,
basketball.
didn't we?
Well,
When we
that's
went to Boston?
in Massachusetts, right?
Oh, was that
Was it
in
Massachusetts?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it's in Massachusetts.
I don't know, maybe they only got baseball and video games.
Okay,
Well, we have the Rock and
The
Roll
big
Hall of
one,
Fame.
though.
that's right, and the football hall.
Yeah, we do the football thing. The most important one.
That's right.
Besides video games.
Yeah, video game is number one for sure. No doubt.
Yeah. So, in other news, BioWare, rumors have been swirling that they are focusing more on Dragon Age. They have moved the production manager. Let me see what the exact. The Anthem's executive producer, Mark Dura, that he's working on Dragon Age 4. So people are like, oh, are you guys stopping support on Anthem? People are saying.
Might as well.
BioWare says, no, we still have people working on Anthem.
Thank
so,
God.
But there is no timetable on
What
their
the-
updates. that
Yeah,
they're
where's the
doing.
roadmap?
So
Where's all the
there's
DLC that they promised?
no roadmap,
Thanks,
but they said
BioWare.
people are working. They're working on content, and they'll tell people when they get closer to releasing new
Great.
content on that. So yeah, not great news from BioWare, but it is good to know that they're working on Dragon Age 4, which is.
Is
what-
anybody really
I'm way
feeling
more excited.
confident in Dragon Age 4? Like,
I'm a little bit shaky on.
I'm a little
after,
worried now, yeah.
like,
'Cause
I mean-
it's been a lot of bad hits for them in a row.
I mean, I don't think Dragon Age 3 was bad. I never played Origins or Dragon Age 2,
Yeah.
but I mean, I thought 3 was okay. I thought it was fun. But I mean, I don't know how anybody can be like
It's like their last
super hyped for Dragon Age 4 after all the shit that's been going on with BioWare.
Yeah.
And
They have a bad rep now.
especially with them definitely
Thanks,
talking
Mark.
about it being like a games as a service thing. Like
Yeah.
they shoehorned in the multiplayer in Dragon Age Inquisition. Like, you know, I don't know how many people played that. I mean, I played it, but it wasn't like it was just seemed very repetitive and you did the same thing over and over again. It wasn't actually like a multiplayer. It was like a PVE experience. You know what I'm saying? And with Dragon Age 4, I think that gives you to be at least 3 years out. I don't see that coming anytime soon, and I just don't have the faith in BioWare. I mean, if I see a trailer for it, I see gameplay, I'm like super hype, but
So you don't think we're gonna see a game come out from BioWare until Dragon Age 4? Like, there's not another game that's gonna come out before? Like, so we're gonna be waiting 3 years before we see
I
something
think
else
so.
from BioWare?
yeah, I mean, who knows how far. Then I read
Yeah,
that
it'll
story.
give them time
Well, there's
to
a-
get their reputation.
Well, there was
like
a
these
story
bad
where they
movies and
scrapped
shit.
everything from Dragon Age 4,
Yeah.
and it wasn't coming out the way they wanted, and then they refocused everything on Anthem, and then they're going back to the drawing board on Dragon Age 4. So, who knows?
EA will make sure they get it out
And
in
plus-
2020.
Well, plus, like, Anthem,
You're just gonna rush
Anthem
them.
took, what, 7 years to make?
Anthem did?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, like, who knows
Wasted
how...
7 years.
And if they really make Dragon Age a games as a service game instead of a single player... I think Dragon Age Inquisition was made in, like, a year and a half or 2 years, but again, that was such a long time ago. That came out in 2014, so that's 5 years
I
ago.
really like that game.
So...
Yeah, it was fun. So.
But I don't have any faith in BioWare, and I know people still like hold on to that BioWare name, but I think if Anthem was to
they
prove
made my
anything,
favorite game ever, so.
I mean, if BioWare is to prove anything, it's that you can't rely on them. And I was one of the ones that got, you know, I didn't listen to any of the cautionary tales people were saying,
Don't
and
listen to the naysayers.
yeah, I was listening
Yeah.
to the naysayers,
I was
and
one of those
I
people
wasted
too.
and you know, it was a bad choice by me because I just had hope that BioWare was gonna do a good job, and Scott had a lot of hope. No, Scott, that was
Yeah, I
Scott's
was
most anticipated game of the year.
upset that did bad. I don't think that's my most anticipated
Cyberpunk.
game of the year. Come on. Yeah.
Well, Cyberpunk's not coming out this year, so
I mean, yeah, Cyberpunk, I'd say the Outer Worlds.
how you why you hyped about
Psychonauts 2.
why you hyped about Outer Worlds?
I just
because it's
really
made by
like everything.
Oblivion?
No, everything I've heard about it, I really like. So I
Uh-huh.
just like that they're not making this massive open world game like it's gonna be open world, but it's gonna be more directed. I mean,
I like that.
it just seems like it's gonna be a good game. I think from what I've seen of the gameplay, I think you've got different dialogue choices, and it's gonna be cool. So.
Alright, what is this our final topic for the news?
Yes, last topic. Epic Games. They're continuing their buying streak. They bought Rocket League developer Psyonix. A lot of people on Steam that had the game on Steam are not happy about this.
Wait.
They say there's still gonna be, like, anybody who owned the game on Steam, they can still play it, but you can't buy the game on Steam anymore.
Has that been confirmed? I could have sworn that they were saying they didn't say anything about that yet. I'm gonna assume you can't buy it anymore once everything goes through but because other people were saying on Reddit they were like, can you still buy this game on Steam or whatever, and they didn't really. I don't think they officially said that you couldn't, but I think it's a likelihood that you won't be able to anymore in the future.
Yeah, here's the bit that makes it sound like Rocket League's days on Steam are numbered. The PC version of Rocket League will come to the Epic Games Store in late 2019. In the meantime, it will continue to be available for purchase on Steam. Thereafter, it will continue to be supported on Steam for all existing purchasers. So yeah, people who already have it.
They should still be getting updates for the game, you would assume, right?
Yeah, so
no matter
there'll
what
still
platform
be
you
some-
I know Psyonic confirmed that they're gonna keep, working on Rocket League.
That's a great game that should go to. That game really should come to free to play. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the battle chests and everything, right? The chests that or the crates.
Right.
That'll be a really good game to come to. That's what they should do, is make it free to play in the beginning.
Yeah, well, they've done it, I think, free for both consoles so far, with their,
Yeah, I know they couldn't PlayStation Plus. I wasn't sure if they came to games.
I think it did, yeah. So, but yeah, I think they'll fit right in with Epic Games. I mean, they'll seem like similar sort of developers, I guess.
So, hey,
Yeah, and they were saying it's good for in the competitive scene, the Rocket League esports community. They can offer more money in their tournaments because they have the backing of a bigger, more successful company
Epic
like
Games
Epic.
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
They're one of the big ones out of nowhere.
yeah. So
One game can do it for you, I guess.
I think that's
well,
good.
that's their first big development purchase, right? They've been buying time exclusivity and
They're doing good because with the Epic Games Store and
they're
now
fucking
Psyonix.
they're backing up the big ass truck of all their Fortnite money and just saying, hey,
yeah.
and I think Psyonix
That's
is kind of just like,
smart.
hell, we get some stability and we get tons of cash flow, so.
Yeah.
And then now they don't have to worry about marketing themselves anymore. They can just have Epic do all that for them. One less thing to worry about.
Right.
So that's cool.
Yeah, so
Not
that's
cool,
it.
but it's
Yeah.
interesting.
So that's it for the news. Yeah, console owners don't have to worry about that because you can just play it on.
I have it on both consoles, so.
So that's it for the news.
Platinum trophy in
The
it.
next topic we wanted to discuss lately,
100%
or
game
this
show.
next weekend, I think, is when
What's that?
Detective Pikachu, the Pokemon movie, is coming out. So Pokemon video games, big relationship there. A lot of people. So that crossover between video games and movies is kind of cool, and I'm actually excited to see Detective Pikachu. I like what I've seen from the trailers. I think that the Pokemon that they animated with the CGI look kind of cool.
I
So.
think it's kind of odd having Ryan Reynolds as the voice for Pikachu, but
I think it's
not
kinda-
exactly the guy I would expect.
It seems like he's
I
doing a
think
good
he'll do a
deed.
good job.
It seems like he's doing a good job with it and he's
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Mhm.
And it's cool to see that these Pokemon are kind of really true to form. And they kind of, in terms of their designs in the games and in the trading cards or whatever, even the show. But also, they also kind of are placed in what we see in the trailers, in doing different things that might what you might see.
Right.
They show a pack of Bulbasaurs in the woods in the forest or whatever. That's cool. They show a Charizard being used in a fighting arena. I'm assuming I don't know, it's kind of a stadium or whatever. But they're kind of just I think they're doing a really good job of placing the Pokemon into a habitat, an environment that could be related to real life if Pokemon existed in the real world and all that. So I'm super excited for it. I'll probably go see it in theaters. I don't see a lot of movies in theaters, but this one I'll definitely check out. Looks cool.
And the other video game that's being made into a movie, another iconic cartoon character from Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog. So we got a first trailer for that. There was some negative opinions about the trailer.
Oh god, that was rough.
And the look of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well,
'Cause
they
he's just
are-
kind of a furry blue guy walking around.
Well, they are officially redoing the
The look of
the
Sonic.
look of him now,
Yeah.
which is seems
Somebody-
like it's gonna be a big
Somebody
project.
posted a picture. You guys seen like the original Jumanji with Robin Williams?
Yeah.
They did a picture of like the kid that turns into like a lion or something,
Yeah.
and it gave him like blue spikes and like blue like everything. And it looked just like Sonic and it was so
That's
fucking
right.
funny. Yeah.
Huh.
So
Maybe that was an
But yeah,
inspiration.
even the trailer looks bad though. It's not like the movie just looks bad. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
not
like-
even just the character design. The whole
I
movie
don't know
looks bad.
about Jim Carrey being
And I think-
Eggman too.
I think that was their big plan. Was like, oh, we're gonna fucking save the reveal of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
As, what's his face?
but like Jim Carrey's so skinny though.
I
Like,
know.
how is
Like,
that fit in
Eggman's
Dr.
supposed to be
Robotnik?
fat guy.
Yeah.
Well, when I saw it, I'm like,
He's
Jim
a little
Carrey,
bit
but
too
then-
goofy for me too.
Jim Carrey has a certain. I mean,
It'll probably sell just because of Jim Carrey.
oh, that's what I mean. They probably spent so much money.
That's
to
why
get
they
Jim
saved it,
Carrey on
I
it.
think, for the trailer.
Yeah.
But
But back to your point about them saying that they're gonna remodel and redo Sonic. This movie's supposed to come out in like half a year.
yeah,
Yeah.
How are they gonna have time to redo everything that pertains to Sonic?
big project.
Animations
Yeah.
and
Yep.
you know
Into
all the cut
scenes.
scenes, the scenes, like everything is gonna be redone with that has Sonic in the
Should be
movie.
interesting to see how much of a
Yeah, I
remodel
don't
it is, or
know.
if it's just minor
We're
tweaks.
probably
What
start-
goes into that?
We're probably gonna see an article where fucking
We gave up.
Paramount like makes these guys work 100 hours a week, and so I see one of those articles. So
that would be bad.
yeah, that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do it. I mean, I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
People were showing pictures of like how like Sonic should like they were doing like actually like drawings of how Sonic should look,
Yeah.
and it looks perfect. Like it looks just how he was in like the movies or something.
Well, I'm seeing how they
in the
fucked
games.
up
I'm
with it.
sorry.
Like he's got those long ass skinny legs and everything. Like, but then in the trailer for some reason,
Looks
it's
like
like all short and stubby. Like,
Well, and plus,
Yeah.
it just kind of looks so bad, and it shows him with two eyes instead of like Sonic has like really like he has two eyes, but they're kind of connected.
connected.
Yeah, it's not like separate. Yeah, he looks like that kid from Jumanji.
Like, I don't know how they could screw it up so bad.
Let me see if I can
Did
picture.
they not have somebody like looking at the character model and like, this looks
Yeah.
nothing like Sonic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah. There
Just
was
a blue
one.
fucking
There was
thing.
one cool scene. I thought it was cool when they showed Sonic spinning into the truck, like behind them, like
No, they- no,
doing
it's
like
like
the
they're-
supersonic spin attack. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
cool.
like look at this, dude. Like.
Yeah, dude, Sonic's also like those eyes, like he's big. I can just picture the eyes in my head, like I don't even have to
Yeah,
look at
well,
it.
put that
Picture
up
of
to
them.
the screen. so
But, like,
people can
Yeah,
see
well,
it.
They're tall and connected, like I
I
can
don't
think of
see
it just in my
They
head.
show him like blue, but. God damn. This is it's crazy. Like, look at that. Like. I can't even see where my phone is.
I'm sure that
Oh.
one of those angles is.
I mean, look at that.
Alright, back up before Rocky jumps up there and knocks it down.
So yeah, hopefully they can fix it. Hopefully it'll be a good movie. But right now, based off the first trailer, it's looking like it's gonna be a pass for Sonic. That brings us to another point about the originality in like terms of what people in the movie industry, I guess. There's a lot of sequels we see, right?
Oh, we're just gonna skip over,
We see,
No, I think it's a good idea.
alright, that works.
What are we?
Just
No,
keep
you're
going.
fine. You're
No,
fine. Keep
yeah,
going.
we'll-
You're fine. Keep going. No, you're fine.
We get into it, but there's a lot of like sequels, and then you see people taking ideas that are already a thing and making them into movies. You don't see a lot of original ideas in movies, and I think we're seeing that in video games now too. It's starting to branch into video games. You've got like what 15 Final Fantasy games, however many Final Fantasy games there are.
Yeah, but they're all
So
like.
that's what I was gonna say, those are at least original.
Yeah, they're original stories. in each
Well,
one.
okay, so each one of those is different, but it's still a Final Fantasy. But then Call of Duty, there's a new one of those every year.
Yeah, there's some. I think there's gonna be some franchise fatigue with people that but
Yeah.
you got people like Eric who support the franchise. So we gotta keep on putting out normal shit every year. And let's take it on a blackout, like Battle Royale mode, and oh my god, I gotta play that.
The point
Yeah,
is, you're starting to see
Dude,
these
you played it for like a month straight. How was a disappointment?
successful franchises.
Well,
They just keep
multiplayer, I didn't play
redoing.
Blackout, though.
Oh, you didn't play Blackout? Oh, just multiplayer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wrong then.
So, what point is too much video game fatigue? So, what game was it that we were talking about before?
Well, Mortal
I
Kombat
got-
11.
Mortal
I got
Kombat
you.
11.
Just
I got
yeah.
I got a few games I can think of.
And I mean, Mortal Kombat's
Yeah.
obviously the same game, like
Mhm.
basically
It's
every
just a
year.
fighting
It's not-
game.
Maybe a
With
couple
a
of
bunch
characters
of
that I mean,
fatalities, yeah.
Well, they add new characters
yeah,
though.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe a couple of new characters.
And this is
Not
supposed to be
like-
the end of like the new trilogy from 9, 10, and 11. This is like a a whole new story.
Mhm.
But then you have games like Gears and Halo. God, those games are so boring.
So, yeah, Halo's got 5 entries now.
Well,
Gears.
That
Five
includes
games,
ODST.
Yeah,
and
5
Reach.
there's Reach too. So,
Reach and ODST, Halo Wars,
okay, yeah. So, they're.
Halo Spartan Assault.
As much as I love Master Chief and I love like the first 3 were some of my favorite games of all time of playing those, and because I was just obsessed with the music and
They
the
were
lore.
cool and new.
It was new. That's the only without Halo. You argue that Xbox would never made 360.
Yeah.
I mean that because the Xbox One. I mean their Xbox original didn't have a lot of good games. Didn't have a lot of studios. I mean they had I think Morrowind and Oblivion on that console.
Mhm.
But again, like it was like just who wanted to play an Xbox, but you got an Xbox just to play Halo. I got my Xbox because I wanted Halo, like Combat Evolved.
Right.
And I feel like Halo, I know they've been trying to like take breaks from it, but again, with how long development cycles are, it's not really they're taking a break from it. It wasn't like they put Halo on hiatus and it just takes a long time for the game to be developed. That's all 343 Industries works on is Halo.
Yeah.
So that game just needs I think they need to really focus on just like rethinking of how they want to Halo's still an important franchise to the Microsoft ecosystem, but it's still like how can you make that new? And the reason I say that is because look at what happened with God of War last year with PlayStation and Sony, where they still use the main character, but they put him in a different setting with brand new characters. It wasn't set in Greek anymore in Greece. It was set in
Complete reboot.
Yeah,
Although,
we don't know much about Halo Infinite yet, which is the next entry in the Halo series. They're going away from the numbered entries, so I don't know. Maybe they're gonna change up.
Yeah, who knows?
With Halo Infinite.
I mean, it still shows Master Chief on a Halo. So again, that's the
but they
namesake of
could
it.
be, you don't know, they could be changing like the gameplay like they did with
And
God of War,
speaking of like the Halos and like that was such a big deal in like the first game was make sure that these Halos didn't get activated because they would destroy the world or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like they got away with that now, and now they're worried about these Prometheans and people that were supposed to be like ancient and like God, it's so lame. And John Locke was so lame. I hated 5.
I don't mind them
I didn't
keeping
mind 5.
releasing Halos, but
You liked it?
It was alright, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I thought it was cool that you had a squad outside of Master Chief's squad that you could play as and train to
I don't
find
know.
Master
I mean,
Chief.
I
thought
think-
that the whole like build up to finding him was okay.
Yeah, they built this all in a trailer and then nothing happened. They had like one fight scene and they were like best friends after that. It was stupid. Remember that when he cracked his helmet or whatever? But yeah, in the beginning, like Microsoft was saying all these trailers and it was just all about, oh, it's John Locke against, Master Chief, and they show different trailers of Master Chief on the ground or whatever and Locke confronting him. But they definitely need to do something where what they did with God of War, which
they need to not be afraid of like change. Like obviously they were trying to change it up with Halo 5, they didn't do a very good job of it. But
right.
I mean, they need to switch something up because what they're doing is not working. Like it's the sixth game in the mainline series, and it's, same gameplay every time, same guns,
And it's the same thing with Gears of War, right?
Yeah.
And it's God of War really.
Well, I haven't played Gears 4, but I mean, they obviously switched it up with Gears 4.
Well, they have a new character, right? They have like a chick or whatever. Right?
Gears 5 was gonna be a new chick.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that are kind of long in the tooth and need to be. I think Killzone is a franchise. I don't want to see.
I don't know if another Killzone's coming out.
I don't know. People are saying it could be. It's in the works because they hired on a multiplayer person from Rainbow Six Siege. Guerrilla Games that
Yeah,
is.
some of that stuff, like, it's like, why is this game getting a sequel?
Like, what? Come on, like we want to see
yeah,
new
like
IPs.
Crackdown too. It's
I mean,
like,
look at
okay,
Horizon Zero Dawn. Like that was a new IP and was critically acclaimed. Last of Us, when that came out in 2013, new IP. You know, you see Naughty Dog stopping with Uncharted. Hey, we're done with that. That was Nathan Drake's story. You know, we're focusing on Last of Us.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see what
think
happens
it's good
after
to
that.
have an end to a story. I mean, I know they're iconic games, but it's like eventually
It's gotta
it's
end.
it's gotta end. It gets boring. You see that with The Walking Dead and those TV shows too. Like, they have too many seasons.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, just
too much fatigue.
Yeah, just
I think the Elder Scrolls does a good job. Like we were saying, Final Fantasy, they do a different story each time, which is cool. Elder Scrolls, you have a different region every time. So
Right.
Yeah,
you've
that's
got-
like a whole different thing. It's like a whole different game every
Yeah.
time. Like with Halo, it's like the same storyline, it just keeps extending further and further and
Yeah.
further. Like they're doing all different stories for like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. Gears of War is kind of like the
Yeah,
same
and I think
storyline.
that's why
Fallout's like
Bungie.
that too.
I think that's why Bungie left, like doing the like Microsoft and stuff, so they could go and do like Destiny, because they didn't want to keep doing Halo. They finished their like trilogy, and then they did the Reach prequel too, and they were done with it. And then, but Microsoft wasn't, so then they just were watering it down.
Yeah, there's some franchises that have a lot of fatigue, and for me, and it's mostly on the Xbox side, just because I was a big Xbox gamer when I was younger, and then I get tired of playing the same franchises over and over again.
Well, I don't understand like Forza Motorsport either. Like that's every 2 years and it's the same exact game every year, the same tracks. Like literally,
Yeah.
it's just updated cars.
Well, I talked about this too, that like I was telling Eric a couple days ago when we went to the gym, and I'm like, yeah, I only try to buy sports games once every 3 years.
Yeah,
Because you're pretty much
yeah,
getting the
that's
same
a good
game.
points with sports.
You're
Yeah.
getting the same game every year, and I know people want updated rosters. That's a big thing. People want the rookies to get in there,
Yeah.
and they want the updated rosters and whatnot. And they might want some of the retired players to be removed off the game.
Yeah, that's a
But-
good point. I wish that they would go to more of a 3-year development cycle on these sports games.
No, I mean, I just
Because-
mean, no, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I mean
I
just
mean
me.
that, but-
I just mean me buying it. There's too much money in
Yeah.
games coming out every
Well,
year
yeah,
because of new rookies.
and I agree with that. But I think it would be in their best interest to do that. They could make these games better if they did a 3-year life cycle.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
especially with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cloud gaming and stuff like that. Like you can update rosters easily to be the most active rosters.
Yeah,
so
that-
you don't have to come out with a new game every year.
They're not gonna do that though because people buy it still $60.
Yeah, but you have the in-game
Looking-
currencies and stuff like.
But then we buy it every year for 2K.
Yeah, I wish-
for-
I wish-
see,
I mean,
they-
I
they
wish
could
they would
easily
do it.
last them more than a year.
I wish they would do that, but no, people buy it for $60.
Yeah.
Like sports games,
And then
are
you
some of
just
the
get the
best-selling
same
games every
game
year.
next year.
2K.
But
Madden.
yeah, it's disappointing.
They're some of the best selling games every year, so it's like people will still buy them, and then they buy all their fucking VC for
Yeah,
2K on top of it. Like,
That's
a
our fault.
friggin-
that
yeah,
is
that's a
our fault,
freaking
yeah.
cash grab for them.
Yeah.
They make so much money off of that, probably.
Yeah. So like, I haven't bought a Madden game in years. I can't even remember. I mean, I buy 2K every year just because we all play it. I bought MLB The Show this year, but I probably won't buy another show game for a
No,
few
yeah.
years. That's kind of like my if I want to play a baseball game, that's my fix.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
I bought MLB The Show 19 on Wednesday, so maybe we can finally do
Yeah,
that stream we talked about.
let's do it. We'll do
Right.
we'll do
We'll
a
do an
after
after hours
hours.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That'd be fun. And and then NHL. I mean, you play that on EA Access, but I
Yeah.
bought it on the PlayStation for 18, and I probably won't want to buy it again for a few years, unless the Jackets win the cup. Then I'll probably buy it. But
So yeah, FIFA and NHL for me are like games I can just wait on EA access for.
right.
Yeah, I don't have to
But
buy those right
I
away.
think there's some other franchises that might be long in the tooth that we maybe not have touched upon.
I mean, Resident Evil's getting there, but it's
But I guess
still
it's
different stories every time, like different characters.
kind of. I mean, Leon was in 2 and 4. I mean, Jared knows more about. Jared's a huge Resident Evil fan. 7, they brought back Chris Redfield. He was in.
And I think they made them different when they remade those games. Like the Resident Evil 2 remake is a little different, like in gameplay style than what.
Yeah, there's
the
no-
original one
There's
was.
no like, what's what's it called? Not fixed. I don't think it's really considered a fixed camera, but where like it's in the original Resident Evil 2, it showed a room, but it was like in the corner. It's kind of like in a corner of the room, and then you came into the proximity of the camera, and then that's when you played it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like behind your back like it is, or over the shoulder like it is in Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Yeah, I don't think there's necessarily like a certain number of sequels that are too many. I think it's like it's more so like when these developers release these games like every year after year. Like
I think
like
Assassin's Creed.
Far Cry's
maybe
starting to get to that point.
gets-
I think where
Yeah.
Far Cry's releasing too many. Like Primal was a bust. That New Dawn is that what's called? New Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a bust.
Yeah.
Like they need to take a couple of years and put like out quality.
I mean,
games
they
instead
had.
of trying to push
Well,
them
that's
out.
what they were doing in Assassin's Creed, right? That was a yearly annual release, and then now they're saying, you know, the past 2 years we got Origins and Odyssey back to back.
Yeah.
They're taking a year off this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, again, they recognize the fatigue of playing the same thing over and over again, and they introduced some new mechanics between Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Origins, and people loved Origins.
Yeah,
You
they're
know?
doing with Far Cry what they were doing with Assassin's Creed now, where
Well-
they're releasing too much of it.
Well, I mean, between 4 and 5 was what, 3 years? But I see
But
where
they put Primal
4
in
years.
between.
4 years. But then they put Primal, then now New Dawn, where it's like, come on, you know, I know
Just put all your resources into making like a good game.
Make some new
Try to
IPs.
Push more out. Like,
I think they're coming out with a new Ghost Recon game. You know, I think it's supposed to be announced sometime this week. So it's like Wildlands just came out in
Yeah,
2017.
yeah.
So it's like, you know, come on. This and movies are the same way. It's like all we see is sequels. It's really hard to see. I mean, either we see sequels or we see like remakes. You know, nothing. We don't see a lot of original content. And same thing in the video game industry. I think it's kind of going down the same path where we're seeing a lot of remakes being made because they're easy cash grabs. You're redoing, you know, you're up-resing all the assets and graphically better, but it's the same game. You know.
Mhm.
So it is. I would like to see more, maybe some. And a lot of these developers have good ideas. It's not like they're
I mean,
you know,
there's
not
games
creative.
out there that never got a sequel that were really good games too. Like that would be really cool to see, like sequels made for. I mean, I'm sure we all have games that we'd like to see sequels for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Trying to
got
think of what a good
like
one would be.
Gladius on the original Xbox. I love that game. It was LucasArts developed it.
IMAO too.
But their video game division went out, and I mean I would love for somebody to pick that up and make a second game of that.
Maybe THQ Nordic will
Well,
buy it.
you look
They
at
buy fucking everything.
like some older games too, like the King's Quest games that I played. I think it would be really cool. Like I don't know if you guys watched at all my nostalgia hour on King's Quest 6. But like
I think I
the
saw it,
graphics
but
are outdated, but the story's still amazing. Like if they like remaster or remade that game and updated the graphics on that, I think that would be pretty cool to see stuff like that. I like what they did with like Last of Us and Resident Evil, like the newer games that they've done that for. Like let's go back to some older adventure games or like older, like really old games, and let's remake them.
I think I want some more linear games too. I have open world fatigue, and I've been playing Days Gone, and I'm just like,
it's not
Yeah.
time for open world anymore.
yeah, it's like, you know, why? I want to play a game between a single player game. I think it's good between like maybe 10 to 15 hours,
Yeah.
10 20 hours. I can play like a week if I have time, like maybe a couple weeks, and I'm done with it, and I'm happy, I'm satisfied. I finish the story, and then I can move on with my life and play the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I got time for like one open world game a year, and last year was Red Dead.
What do you mean?
I don't have a lot of time to be playing open world games anymore.
No, you just don't want to have the time. You just don't want to play single player games.
No, I played Red Dead. Beat that.
You beat the epilogue?
What?
Did you beat the epilogue?
I beat Arthur's story.
Yeah, but you beat the
All
epilogue.
I care about is Arthur's story. Oh, I don't want to play the epilogue. I don't give a shit about
Because
the
it's a
story.
good. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's a good segue into the first game.
Well, I'm not playing the first game, so I don't care.
Oh.
I finished the first game. I thought that was cool.
Hmm. You gonna finish Days Gone?
I might not finish Days Gone.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. Depends,
Yeah.
depends on
Depends.
how crappy it gets, like all the reviewers have been saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave it a 3 out of 5 dips.
3 out of 5 dips. So it's average.
It's average.
It's average.
Yeah, maybe we should go over my rating. I'll do my rating scale tomorrow.
Yeah, so you have time for average games?
I don't know. Single player, I don't know about single player average games.
Yeah.
Maybe. Got time to try them out at least. I don't know
Yeah.
about beating them.
That's right, yeah. I think,
I have to beat games. I have to beat them.
yeah, we have little time in our lives, so I think it's best to
You guys have more
play
time than
the
me.
4 or 5
I
out of
got a
stars.
fucking basement to do. and
Yeah, you
shit.
spent 1 week on.
What are you talking about? It's been like 2 weeks already.
I'm just saying,
Finally
like,
done.
you know. Oh, it's like you guys have more
I got
time.
grass to mow. I got all kinds of shit to do. I don't know what you think I got.
You
all
can't
this
do it
time
now.
for.
The grass is wet as fuck.
Yeah, I got tons of crap to do. I got to clean the house. Tons of stuff.
I just spent 4 hours playing Overwatch last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you guys
Season
see
16. Yeah, there's some news. Season 16.
Oh, there you
Overwatch.
go.
Who gives a shit?
And with
We
that,
just ranked and we're
we're gonna start
almost
to
done
wrap
now.
up the Take Aim Gamescast for this week.
You know,
Make
I
sure to
I
subscribe
might just buy Overwatch on PlayStation.
to the
There you
video,
go.
like this
More
video,
credit.
Cody,
and
Joey, Demonch.
next week we're gonna have a special guest.
Oh.
Maybe not the one you're thinking of though, maybe a new one.
Oh,
So
maybe.
stay tuned for next week. We might get some fresh perspectives.
Maybe some overcooked perspectives.
Maybe
There's
some,
a clue.
Maybe some
Whoa.
pharmaceutical.
Yes,
I'll ask him about my knee.
yes. I'm sure your knee will feel much better.
Oh, nice. He's a
After
massage
this.
guy.
We-
Oh.
Whoa. Okay. Well, thank you for watching, everybody, and have a good week. Make sure to check out our streams, and we'll catch you next week.
Later.